How can I develop wisdom with the five aggregates? You develop by seeing the nature of the five aggregates as being impermanent. It comes and goes, it rises and ceases, it keeps changing. It's not always the same, such as the body. The body, once it's being born, it will keep changing from a baby to be a grown-up, from a grown-up to be an old person, from an old person to become a sick person and a dying person eventually. Once you see this, you have wisdom. You see that the body is subjected to dissolution, so you should not cling to it, because by clinging to your body will cause you untold suffering. If you let the body be naturally, if it's gonna dissolve, let it dissolve, then you will not be suffered, you will not feel sad or feel terrible, because you are not the body. You are the one who is investigating a body, developing wisdom by seeing the body as being impermanent. There is no self in the body. The body is only made up of the 32 parts. There is no you, no I in the body. The you, the I is in the mind, and the mind is separate from the body. This is the way to develop wisdom using the five aggregates, to learn the true nature of the five aggregates, and then let go. By letting go, you will then be free from suffering. If you cling to the five aggregates, it will cause you untold suffering.
คำถามต่อไปจากคุณบ๊อบบี้ค่ะ ท่านอาจารย์ recently I have started practicing Devai-kasina instead of Anapanasati. I have found it to be more suitable for my mind. Is kasina an acceptable meditation object?
Yes, it's one of the 40 meditation objects. The colors that you can choose, such as white, green, red, or yellow. All you have to do is to imagine the color in your mind. When you close your mind, bring the white color up onto the mind. It's like watching the breath. Instead of watching the breath, you watch the white color. If there's no white color, you have to imagine. You have to bring it up. By forcing your mind to focus or bringing up the white color, it can make the mind become concentrated and calm. Go ahead.
Master, I would like to ask that life is impermanent. Everything goes and flow. But why we are scared of that in this living being? As we are born as a human, so can't we live without the scare?
Because we think we are the body, and the body is subjected to death. So when the body dies, we think we die with the body. That's why we are scared of death. But if we know that we are not the body, then we will not be scared of death. The Buddha and his noble disciple all discovered that they are not the body. The body is just their servant, so they don't die with the body. So they're not afraid of death. And in order to be able to see this truth, you have to practice meditation. You have to practice samatha bhavana and vipassana bhavana. When you can do this, your mind will then be able to see that the mind and the body are two separate entities. The mind is permanent while the body is temporary. So the mind would not be afraid of the death of the body.
Even though, Master, Buddha said that the body is impermanent, but the mind is permanent. But in the ending of the books of Buddha, there is written like even the mind is impermanent. We go through all the things.
The meaning of impermanent of the mind doesn't mean it's not permanent. The mind changes according to conditions, according to karma. The mind can be human, the mind can be angels, be devas, be brahmas, or be Buddha. These are changing states of the mind. But the mind is permanent in the sense that it lasts forever. It doesn't disappear like the body.
And the last question, Master, thank you. And the last question, that people think that the gods, all other gods are equal. I also consume as all the God equal, but why the living gods and the between the Buddha? The God means, there's lots of gods. They find a way that they find the religion, all the religion between different kind of religion.
See, religion is like the Buddha compared the different religion like 5 blind men who discover an elephant, but they touch the elephant at different parts. So one blind man who touched the tail of the elephant say, "This elephant is like a rope." And another blind man touched the tusk of the elephant and said, "This is like a spear." And another blind man touched the nose of the elephant and said, "This is like a snake." Another blind man touched the body of the elephant and said, "This is like a wall." So this is like people who doesn't truly see the true nature of the mind. When they experience different states of the mind, then they interpret the mind to be this and that. Only the Buddha who have fully see the complete parts of the mind to realize that what the mind really is.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right.
I don't have any particular question, Ajahn, but I listened to the Dhamma talk in Thai,
Yes.
but I didn't understand. Is it possible you
Okay.
give in brief?
I'll give you a brief summary. Today I talk about the 10 ways of making punya, or making the mind happy. 10 different ways the Buddha teaches to make ourselves happy. We call it making ourselves happy as punya or merit, making merit. One is by doing dana, charity. Second, sila, by keeping the precept. Third, bhavana, to meditate. Fourth, to share the merit that you make from dana to the people who die, to those who die. The next, to encourage other people or support other people when they want to make merit, to support them, to encourage them, to give them encouragement, not to discourage or prevent them from making merit. Next, to serve other or help other. Next, to be humble. Next, to have the right view, to see that life is, the mind is continually reborn in different various realms of existence due to the law of karma. If you do good karma, you'll be reborn in a good heavenly realm. If you do bad karma, you'll be born in a bad realm, in hell. And then the next thing is to listen to Dhamma talk or study the teaching of the Buddha. And the last is to share Dhamma that you have with other people. These are the ways to make yourself happy. Rather than going on a holiday or having a party or go to movies or entertainment, those kind of happiness can bring you sadness when you don't have the opportunity to do them. So you want to be happy, do chant, do charity, or keep the precept, or meditate, or share the Dhamma you have with other people. These are the different ways of making yourself happy without having any bad consequences afterward. Okay?
We have one more question in English from Leonardo. How can I get my non-Buddhist parents to accept me becoming a monk?
It's not something you can do. It's up to them whether they want to accept you or not. So don't try it. It's like trying to make fire coal. You cannot make fire coal. The fire has to be distinguished, then it becomes coal by itself. So all you can do is to be a good Buddhist. Then maybe being a good Buddhist might eventually convince them to accept you as a Buddhist. Like people before, they didn't want the Buddha to become a monk. But after he became enlightened and then he went back to his family and taught the Dhamma to them, they became inspired. So they accepted him and trust him and follow his teachings. So all you have to do is be a good Buddhist, practice and become enlightened. And then one day I'm pretty sure your parent will embrace you as a Buddhist.
Ajahn, he has a question that between parents and teachers, he's asking a question, which one we supposed to respect more and or taken care more?
Well, first you have to take care of your parents first. Your parents raise you, give you birth, so you owe them the care that you have to give them. If they need your help, you have to look after them. The Buddha said, look after your parents before you go look after the monks. Once your parent is well taken care of, then if you want to go look after your teacher or your monk, the monks, then you can do afterwards. But first you have to make sure your parents are well taken care of first. Then once they are taken care of, if you want to go help your teacher, you can go do that also. But most teachers don't really expect any help from you. You need their help more than they need your help. So don't worry about helping your teacher. Your teacher only wants you to follow teaching. That's helping the teacher is by following his teaching. But if you can help, you can. But most teachers, if they are real teachers, they don't need anybody's help. They have achieved attahi atano nato. They have found their own refuge. So they don't need anybody to take care of them. Okay.
Then Ajahn, when we practice with one object, meditation object, and then with no progress so far in terms of meditation result, to what extent we have to change the meditation object?
It's not the object that's causing you not to have any result. It's your mindfulness. You don't have enough mindfulness to stick to your meditation object. You only stick to it for a few minutes, a few seconds, and you start thinking again. So you should be trying to develop a lot more mindfulness first, by not just during the time of meditation. You should do it all day, from the time you get up in the morning to the time you go to sleep. You can develop mindfulness. There are several ways you can do this. You can use a mantra like Bhutto, Bhutto. As soon as you wake up, as soon as you start to think, and then you can use Bhutto to stop your thinking. You only think what is necessary. What is not necessary, don't think. Stop it by using Bhutto, Bhutto. Like when you are preparing yourself to go to work, you have to wash your face, brush your teeth, take a shower, get dressed. Try to stop your thought by using a mantra, Bhutto, Bhutto. Or you can use the body as your object of mindfulness. Just keep watching what your body is doing and stay with the action of the body. If you're brushing your teeth, just keep the mind watching the brushing of the teeth only. Don't let it go think about other things. If you can do this, when you sit and meditate, you will have strong mindfulness. And you either use the mantra Bhutto or you can use Anapanasati, watching your breath in and out breath. And your mind will be focused just on that. And then your mind can become calm and achieve the result that you want. So it's not the object. Usually you don't have enough mindfulness to stay with your object of meditation.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay.
He has a question, Ajahn. He said that as a human being, we have many friends, and then every person has different character. So how we as a person be able to always maintain the humanity and then working together in ourselves and their friends, because everyone has different character.
You just have to accept them for what they are. Don't expect anything that is not them. The problem with us is we have a certain set of image, things we expect from other people. When they don't fit that image, then we become uncomfortable with them. So in order to avoid being uncomfortable, not being able to work or live with other people, you have to learn to accept them for what they are. Accept their differences. You cannot change them, but you can change yourself. You can change your attitude toward other people. But you cannot change people to suit your attitude. Okay? All right.
Dear Venerable Ajahn,
Okay.
I am from Malaysia. Can I ask 4 questions?
Yes, please do.
Yeah.
Louder.
Okay. Yeah. Question number 1. How do we choose the meditation method that is suitable for us the most?
For most people, if you sit, you use anapanasati, mindfulness of your breathing, your breath. Watch your breath. That's according to the Buddha's teaching. When you sit, when you meditate, watch your breath. And when you're walking or doing something else, you use your body as your object of meditation. Focus on your body action. Keep watching what your body is doing in order to develop mindfulness. You need to have mindfulness in order to be able to meditate successfully. So when you're not sitting, when you're doing something else, you should keep watching your body. Whether you're standing, walking, sitting, or whatever you do, eating, washing your face, getting dressed, combing your hair, always keep watching it. Don't let your mind go somewhere else. This is the method of developing mindfulness. And when you meditate, normally you will use the breath, watching your breath. Unless you have some other problem, like when you watch, you're going to meditate and suddenly you get angry at someone, then you have to switch your method from using your breath to using metta, loving kindness. You have to forgive the person who makes you angry. Just let bygone be bygone. Whatever has been said or done is already gone. It's useless to think about it and to make you angry. Anger is damaging to your meditation practice. So you have to learn to forgive or forget. If you cannot forgive, maybe you can concentrate on your breath. Just come back and keep concentrating on your breath. Just keep watching your breath in and out. Another method that is popular in Thailand is to use the mantra Bhutto. You can use Bhutto in all circumstances, whether you're sitting or not sitting. Whatever you do, you can keep reciting Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. This will stop your mind from wandering, from thinking about this and that. So when you meditate, your mind can become concentrated and calm easily. And if you should have any problem with your mind when you are meditating, like if you have some sexual desire, then you have to switch to use the proper remedy for that. If you have sexual desire, then you should use asubha, or contemplation of the unpleasantness of the body. Look at the 32 parts of the body. So you have to learn the name of the 32 parts, hair of the head, hair of the body, so forth, until you start to see the parts under your skin, see the heart, the lungs, the liver, so forth. Then this can reduce or eliminate your sexual desire. Or you can contemplate on the nature of the different nature of the corpse, how the body, once it dies, it starts to decompose. Or if it's left in the forest, in the cemetery, like in the Buddha's day, it might be eaten up by dogs or by vultures or by worms. So this is the way of remedy when you got sexual desire and your mind would not be able to concentrate to be calm. Or if you have some doubt or uncertainty of the Buddha, the Dhamma or the Sangha, then you should contemplate on the quality of the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha. Then it will reinforce your faith in the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. Or you should study the story of the Buddha and his noble disciples, so that it can make you become firmly faithful believer in the Buddha's teaching. These are the things that you have to use when your mind have problem. But generally, if you have no problem, then you just use mindfulness of your body and mindfulness of your breath when you sit. When you're moving around doing things, just keep watching your body. If you don't like this method, you can use the mantra Bhutto, Bhutto. The goal is to stop your mind from thinking about other things. Keep it in the present, keep it watching, knowing, but not thinking.
Okay, question number 2. For the layman, what should we do in the life in order to bring Dhamma to our practice in the daily activities?
Well, in order to practice, you have to have time, right? So if you want to practice, then you might have to reduce your other activities, like entertainment or relaxation, like doing some other forms of relaxation. You might take the time from those activities and use it to study the Dhamma teaching. First, you need to study. You have to learn what the Buddha teaches you to do. Then once you know what to do, then you should then do it by practicing it. The Buddha said you should practice charity, you should practice morality, keeping the precept, and you should meditate. So these are the 3 activities that a lay person can do on his spare time.
Okay, actually, these are the last questions. I heard from my friends, last time when you go to the so-called arm taking, when you went back, you walk very fast. Is there any reason, or is that true?
Well, it depends on which monastery you go to.
I see.
Here we don't walk very fast because we get on the bus.
Okay.
We ride the bus because it's so too far to walk to the village here. So in the morning we wait at a point where the bus come pick us up. Once we get on the bus, we just sit and meditate until we get to the village. When we come down from the bus, we just walk normally. But if you go to some other forest monastery, like if you go to a Long Ta Mahabua monastery, there's a tradition to walk very fast.
Oh.
So it's almost like running. This is to what you call, to instill a sense of urgency. Long Ta say you have to be urgent. You are competing with time. You don't want to lose time. So try to do things very fast. So then you can achieve a lot more. See, and it also forces you to have a lot of mindfulness.
Oh.
When you have to do something very quick, you have to concentrate on what you do.
Oh.
And it also gives you the physical strength, because when you have to walk fast, you're actually exercising the body at the same time.
Yes.
So it's very, very good, and it is also a way of separating the lazy from the group. If you're lazy, you probably don't want to do this kind of activity. Then you would probably choose another monastery to go to.
See. Okay, my question number 4 already answered. Thank you.
Okay.
That's all.
You got any question yet? Okay.
Good afternoon, Ajahn. Thank you for your time. I'm from Brisbane. I have 3 questions, if that's okay.
Please go ahead.
Okay, the first one is about for my brother. I have a brother who had an accident about 3 years ago, and he's bedridden, completely cared for by people. He cannot swallow, cannot talk. He has consciousness, and he cannot. But right now he was previously a Mahayana practitioner, but he doesn't do meditation. He believes in the Lord Buddha. He's right now consumed with anger, and he hits people. And I just want to know, what can I do? Is there something I can do to help him ease his mind for no matter how long he's going to walk? Because he's losing a lot of weight. I don't think we will have him for too long.
Well, what you can do is you have to be patient with him. Don't get angry at him when he's angry. Just let him be. Treat him like a small child. Okay, don't pressure him, don't push him. Just let him be. Show kindness and love for him. And if you have a chance to talk, you might introduce him to do some meditation, do some mindfulness. Tell him that if you can calm your mind, make your mind peaceful, you can become happy regardless of the situation of your body. And you actually are fortunate because now you have all the time to develop mindfulness and meditate, because you don't have to do anything. You have everybody do things for you. So if you look at the situation, you might switch it around. Instead of thinking it's a bad situation, you might think it's a good situation, because now you have all the time to develop mindfulness and meditate. Because when you meditate, you don't need to use the body, right? What you need is to have time. Now you have all the time because you cannot move around, you cannot go anywhere. So you can just keep reciting a mantra or chanting or listen to Dhamma talks. This can be very beneficial. And who knows, he might become enlightened from the situation that he is in. If he just know how to use the time beneficially. So you might kind of encourage him to study Dhamma, to listen to Dhamma talks. If he cannot read books, if he wants you to read some Dhamma books, read it for him. But most important is to be mindful, to calm the mind. Keep developing mindfulness either by reciting a mantra or watching the breath, and try to stop thinking, because the thinking is what makes him frustrated. When he thinks he wants to do something and he cannot do, when he cannot do, then he becomes frustrated and angry. But he can just stop thinking and forget about doing anything. He might be able to accept his situation, that he cannot do anything with the body, but he still can do something with his mind, and which is more profitable than using the body. By learning to develop mindfulness, by learning how to calm the mind, by not thinking, by meditating, by listening to Dhamma talk, especially about the true nature of things, that everything such as the body is impermanent, regardless of whose body. Eventually the body will succumb to sickness and death anyway. But we can rise above this thing if our mind is calm and peaceful. We will not be afraid, we will not be hurt by the illness of the body or the death of the body.
Thank you, Ajahn. Second question is for my sister. My sister is about 80 years old, and she was treated quite poorly by my mother, who passed away in 1997. And my sister, to this day, still hold a lot of sadness inside her, asking questions about why she didn't understand why my mother treated her the way she did. And many people have asked her to let go, but it's easy for people to say, but it's hard for the one who suffer the pain to forget. So how can I, if there's anything I can do to help her?
Well, you can explain to her that life is like this. You cannot choose what you want all the time. Sometimes you are given, and you just have to be content with whatever you're given. The problem is you're not content. You want something more or something different. So she has to learn that in life sometimes we cannot choose things. Things come by whatever the cost. It might be past karma. It might be just bad luck, that you happen to be the daughter of a mother who doesn't like you. But if you can accept the truth, then you will not feel any sadness or anger. The anger arises from your desire to have love from someone who doesn't give you love. That's all. But you have to look at the reality. And besides, this is already gone anyway, right?
Yes.
And you cannot go change it, and it's already past. If you don't think about it, then it's as if nothing has happened. It's like a dream. What happened when you dream, whether good dreams or bad dreams, when you wake up, it's all gone. No matter how much you want it to come back, it won't come back. So why think about something that will make you sad when it's already gone, when you don't have to experience it anymore? Just accept reality, that life is like this, that sometimes you have good things and sometimes you have bad things. But you can rise above them if you just accept them for what they are. Don't try to change them, don't try to make them to be something else when you cannot do it. If you're given an apple, just accept the apple. Don't ask for an orange, because you can be disappointed or sad.
I think my sister believes she was given a very bitter fruit, and she suffered all her life from it.
But it's already gone, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
now she doesn't have to take the bitter fruit anymore.
Yeah.
But why still keep taking it by thinking about it?
Yes.
How stupid is she?
Yes, I can't say that. Thank you, Ajahn. The third question is about, for me, right now there are people going to India for pilgrimage, and with the recent outbreak with the virus in China, there were lots of people discussing risk of traveling and stuff like that. For me, I intended, and my two other friends here are going, and I can't speak for my friend, but for myself, it's a decision which I think is important for me, and I consider the risk involved, and I think if I have not been doing this because of wanting to prove anything, it's just something I feel is important that I wanted to do, and I think death will come anyhow, anyway. So I'm just wondering if Ajahn can advise me on whether there are other better ways to think about making decision for things like this.
Well, first of all, you cannot predict what's going to happen, right?
Yes.
You can die anywhere, anytime,
Yes.
even here, right now.
Yes.
So if you're worried about death, then this is something you shouldn't worry about. You should worry more about what you do, whether it's beneficial or harmful to you. Whatever you do is beneficial, why not do it? Okay. If it's harmful, then you shouldn't do it. So you should consider the benefits or the harm that can come from what you will choose to do. If it's beneficial, it's good for you, it develop your Dhamma within yourself, then why not do it? It's not easy to be able to go and to places like this. So if you think it's worth the risk, why not take it? Yeah.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Any more? Anybody? Okay, go ahead.
Ajahn, I was here 2 years ago, and you encouraged me and advised me to read sutta and listen to sutta. I've been doing that. I'm very, very thankful for your advice, and I find a lot of joy listening to the suttas. Now, I have a question regarding meditation. When this gentleman over there was saying about, you advised him to anapanasati, which is what I do, I use. And okay, you watch your breath, and quite a lot of times, when the breath becomes so refined, right? And at times, like I don't think I was breathing. I know the breath is there, but it's so refined. What do? Do you watch the mind that is so clear?
Yes, if you cannot watch your breath, then watch your mind. Whether your mind is thinking or not thinking.
Okay.
If you start to think, you should stop it from thinking. Just tell the mind just to watch or just to beware. Beware of the emptiness.
Yep.
Just beware.
So I keep doing that.
Just being aware.
Keep being aware, and become brighter and more.
And don't think, and then you're
more serene and
right. Eventually, your mind might drop deeper into calm.
Okay.
Yeah. As long as you don't think or discussing with yourself what's going to happen next.
No.
Don't think. Don't discuss with yourself.
No.
Just keep watching. If there's nothing to watch, just watch the emptiness.
Yeah. So is it okay? I do feel very sad or depressed when I don't have enough time to meditate because I'm still working, and I have to meditate to sustain the bliss I have inside. But if I don't meditate, I tend to get into a very sad feeling inside me. Is that normal?
No, because it's based on your desire to meditate. Even the desire to meditate, although it's good, but when you cannot do it, it can cause you to become depressed or unhappy. So you should not have this desire when you cannot do it. Just accept that just accept that you don't have enough time to meditate. Just give up the desire for that time, that point, and then concentrate on what you do instead.
Okay.
Because if your mind still keep hankering for meditation, you will feel upset, you will feel unhappy because you cannot do it.
Yeah.
When you cannot do something, then just forget about it.
So there is a desire. That is more a desire that
cause you not to be happy. Yeah.
So it's not because I suppose because I enjoy the bliss and I couldn't have it, and then became a desire for me.
It's the same thing. It's the desire for that bliss is also not good for the mind. When you cannot do it, it's only good when you can do it. Then you should have the desire. Such as when you have nothing else to do, you ask yourself, "What should I do? Why don't I meditate?" Then you can meditate. See? But when you have to work and you cannot meditate, don't have the desire to meditate because you won't be able to do it. then it can make you feel upset, make you feel depressed, because you cannot do what you wanted to do. So it depends on the situation. If you can do it, then you can set up that desire. When you don't have the time, then forget about that desire for that time and say, I have to wait until when I'm free. Then I should meditate. But right now I don't have the time, so I shouldn't have any desire to meditate because it will only upset me. Like anything else, when you want something and when you don't get it, you become upset, whether good or bad things. Yeah. So when you know that you cannot get it, then just keep up that desire temporarily for that particular time. Once you have the time, then you can start have the desire to do what you want to do again. So you have to know the right time to desire for things. Desire for things when you know that you can do it, you can get it. If you know you cannot get it, why waste your desire for? Makes you upset. But sometimes we don't think like this. We think we are emotional. We want to get what we want.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
Understand what I say? Okay. You have to know the right time, the time and place. There's a time and place for everything. When there's time and place for meditate, do it. When there's no time for meditate, then don't do it. That's all. If you want to do it, then you have to make time. You might have to reduce the amount of working that you do, working hours, and so you can have more time to meditate. Okay?
Thank you, Ajahn.
You got more question? Okay.